Hello guys, this is Magnificent Family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. So today in today's video, I'm going to be talking about embracing the gift of singleness. And this is God's plan for us until until we get married, or some of us are called to singleness forever. But for those of you who are single or waiting or single and waiting until marriage because you desire marriage, then this is the right video for you. So, whether you're single by choice or by circumstance or whatever it is, whatever the reason is for you being single, I want you guys to be encouraged, and I want you guys to still feel encouraged and be encouraged despite your singleness. I know that there are ups and downs, highs and lows of being single, but there is a lot of transformation, a lot of growth, a lot of beauty, beautifulness, um, a lot of clarity in being single. And so, singleness truly is a gift because that's when you truly learn a lot of things. It's a lot. You truly get to learn a lot of things about yourself, about who you are, about what you want, about what you will accept in a relationship, and what you won't accept in a relationship. You learn about a lot about your interdependence, independence, um, dependence. You learn a lot about healing your child trauma or any form of trauma that you're experiencing, healing old wounds, so that you can be the best person that you could be for your partner, for your future partner, when God does bless you with them. Okay, so yeah, so I just want you guys to don't feel bad and don't feel discouraged if you've been single for a long time. Like me personally, I've been single for, I want to say, almost a year and a half or so, around there. So I've been single for about a year, and honestly, I've learned a lot. I learned a lot during my singleness season, during the single season, during the healing season, and during my isolation stage. I've learned tremendously a lot, and God has done a great work in me, and He's still doing a great work in me and through me. So I'm super grateful for God and everything that I've learned because of Him, from going back to Him and turning back to Him. And I just want to let you guys know I'm actually going to do another video on how my testimony on how I turned to Christ. And it's going to be like a more detailed video, because I believe I did talk about that in one of my videos where I talked about how to transition into a godly woman. I did talk about a little bit about it, but I didn't really get the full testimony, like from childhood to now. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, I just want you guys to be encouraged and don't feel any type of way just because you're single. Like, singleness has a lot of benefits, a lot of benefits, and a lot of good things to it. You know, because I would rather be single than be in a toxic relationship or be with someone who isn't treating me right and feeling stuck and stagnant and not being at peace. I'd rather be at peace and have my peace and have my and elevate and grow, than to be with someone where I can't elevate, where I can't grow, where I truly do feel stagnant in that relationship and they're not adding anything to my life or to my relationship. So yeah. Um So singleness, yeah, as I said, singleness is an important part of God's plan for your life. It doesn't mean that God is gonna let you remain single forever. Singleness can be for just a particular season. It could be for, and when I say season, it just means like a particular stage in your life where you're single, and so yeah, so you could be single for, like, let's say a year or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. But again, it doesn't mean that God is not going to bless you with your person. It just means that God wants you to be single because He wants you to focus on Him. He wants you to lean into Him. He wants you to um, give Him all your burdens and pick up your cross and carry your cross and just go to Him with everything. He wants you to learn how to depend on Him. He wants you to learn how to trust in Him and trust in His plan and believe that He's going to come through for you, and that that He will fulfill your desires, and desires that align with His desires, if that makes sense. Now, some problems or challenges that comes with being single is that sometimes society will pressure you to get back out there, to get back in the dating scene, to get into a relationship, to just to get into a relationship and stuff. Like, for example, if you are a woman who's 30 or 40 years old and you're not married and you don't have children, sometimes your family be like, hey, when are you getting married? You're almost 30, you're almost 40. um that's past the age where you can have a baby. It's just like things like that is what society tries to tell you. And I just want to let you guys know, don't let society pressure you into get into a relationship or to into getting married. Don't let society don't let society how do I say this? Don't let society convince you to glorify the wedding over the marriage. Because although yes, the proposal is important, the engagement is important, and even the wedding is an important aspect to getting married, it's not what none of that is what's gonna save your marriage. None of that is what's gonna help you to have a healthy marriage. Premarital counseling is gonna help. Going to God is gonna help, and yeah, going to God is gonna help, and just waiting on God and just waiting on God and waiting for when it's your time, because everything's going to happen in God's time and not your time. And so it's just important to remember that and know that. Um, so yeah, God may call you into singleness, into singleness. And so, it's important to not let others press you into, you know, um, into going into dating anyone and everything, and unless or until you're ready. And also, whoever you're dating, it's important to confirm that with God, confirm whether that's your person or not. And it's also important to look at the red flags if you're single while dating. It's important to pay attention to the red flags, to um, you know, even if it's like small red flags and big red flags are important. But it's also important to keep in mind that small red flags turn into big red flags over time. So it may start out small, but the smallest things is what turns into the biggest things, um, that will lead up to the breakdown of a relationship or a friendship in general. So it's just important to keep that in mind. Also, yeah, like I was saying, don't let anyone pressure you into dating. Um, yeah, like I was saying. So yeah, don't let people pressure you. Don't let your family pressure you. Don't let society pressure you. It's only if you're ready, if you want to date, and also if you confirmed it with God and what steps God wants you to take. Um, so yeah, it's important. That's important. And being single, it also helps you to strengthen your relationship with God, um, to strengthen your fellowship, your your communities, like getting involved in your community, getting involved in fellowship and Bible studies. Also, again, finding yourself, finding what you like, finding or trying out new hobbies that you may or may not like, taking your career more seriously, getting yourself established, learning more and more about yourself, learning new things about yourself, and just working on yourself for real. Like, just working on yourself, working on elevating and growing and discovering who you are. Um, because as you get older, it's going to be new pieces to who you are. Meaning, as you get older, you're not going to be the same person as you was, 5 years ago or 2 years ago. As humans, we are evolving um, at a fast rate, and so you know what we like before. Like, for example, I used to like listening to Drake. I still do from time to time, but not that much. I mean, I never did like. Actually, no, that's not even a good example. I used to like listening to screamo music. I think that's what he called it. Is music where it's like rap music where people like were just screaming and screaming. And this was when I was a teenager, and I was listening to this because I was so very depressed. Going through, I went through a lot of depressed times in my teenage years, But now, being 27 years old and being within Christ, I do not like school music anymore. Um, Even when I try to listen to it and get into it, I just can't. And so there are some things there's some things about yourself that you're not. There are some hobbies that you may have listened to before, or some genres of stuff of music that you may have listened to before that you don't like listening to in the present. And so it's nothing wrong with that. It's about learning who you are, rediscovering who you are, learning yourself. And that's important to do during your singles season. Also, it's important to heal any past old wounds and traumas during your single season so that you don't pass it on to the person that God has you, so that you don't bleed on the other person, so you don't hurt the other person or self-sabotage the relationship um, for whatever reason, you know. So it's important to take your healing process and your healing journey seriously during your single season and during your single stage, in season of an isolation stage. And so it's just important to keep all of this in mind. And so yeah, single season, you know, like I said, it's a gift from God. God's plan for you is just to embrace your single season, start loving on you, start pouring into yourself, start building up your self confidence, start like I did today. I did my makeup. You know, I haven't done my makeup like this in a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute because I did the crease and then I also did the eyeshadow and then this is just chapstick. So yeah, I haven't really done this in a minute, and so you know, when you do things for yourself and you pour into yourself and you prioritize yourself, you feel good. And when you feel good, you know, you're able to do things. You're able to be proactive and do things and everything like that, and just you see life in a whole different way. And that's how I'm starting to see life in a whole different way now. And you know, I'm just praying that this helps people. This message helps people who are in the single season, who are waiting for marriage, who are waiting till marriage. And I'm also going to do another video soon about waiting till marriage, things to do to wait till marriage, tips and all that, advice and all that. Because I'm also waiting till marriage, and I'm abstinent, been abstinent since June/July. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I just want you guys to embrace the gift of singleness and remember that you're not alone. And I just pray that you guys don't feel discouraged, but instead I hope you feel encouraged. Remember that you are loved, you are cared for, you are loved, you are cared for, you are heard about. You are heard. My bad, guys. You are loved, you are cared for, you are heard, you are seen, and you are valued. And so I just pray that you guys remember this, and that you just take all this, what I said, and take this into consideration and just try to apply it to your life if you can. If this doesn't resonate with you, I hope it resonates with someone who's also going through a single season, or someone who is also struggling in a single season with being single, and with not having someone, with not having a partner. Because especially when it comes to social media glamorizes and glorifies relationships and marriages, and it's mostly the weddings, the proposal, the engagement, and everything. But there's not enough videos that shows the realness, the authenticity, and the truth about how hard how hard a healthy marriage can be, how hard a Christ-centered, God-centered, God-ordained marriage can be. And so, you know, I just pray that you guys don't get caught up in social media, don't get caught up in society, don't get caught up in what you see and what you hear. Remember that again, the devil arranges marriages, the devil arranges relationships, and it's just best to wait until God gives you his best, because what God gives you, what God gives you guys, what God gives you, I'm sorry for being so hot, but what God gives you, it's going to last. Like I said in my last video, or one of my videos, what God gives you is going to last, and you don't have to worry about that person leaving you or that person doing you dirty or doing you wrong, because you know that God is giving you his best. You know that this is one of God's best people that he's given to you, that he's placed in your life. And so I just want you guys to not settle and to continue waiting. Although it may be really hard and really frustrating at times, and you may feel alone and lonely, but I would rather feel lonely and continue to wait on continue to be absent and continue to wait on my person than to be in a relationship and still feel lonely, than to be in a relationship and still feel depressed, than to be in a relationship and still not feel heard, still not feel supported, still not feel valued or cared about. Or appreciated. I'd rather wait for everything that God has for me, because what God has for you, and this is all in all areas, what God has for you, it's going to last. It's going to stay. It's going to um, it's going to be yours. It's yours. It's nothing that no one can do. It's nothing that no one can do. It's nothing that not even the devil can do or Satan can do to take that away from you, to steal that away from you. Like, what God has for you is for you. And so I just pray that, again, I pray this inspires you guys and this helps you guys to continue to stay single if you're single, or if you are in an abusive or toxic marriage. I pray that this helps you to start planning exit steps to exit that abusive, toxic marriage that you're in, and to realize that, and help you to realize that, you know, you deserve a loving, caring partner in marriage with someone, a healthy one, a healthy, loving, successful, thriving relationship in marriage with someone. Please do not forget please do not forget your worth, guys. Like, you guys are worth so much, and that's why we are the princesses and princes of the Most High King, of the King of Kings, God Himself. Okay, I pray you guys have a great day. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I pray that you tune in for my next video either tomorrow or on Monday. I'm going to be doing a video on the history of Memorial Day, because I kind of forgot what it is, but we're going to do a deep history on Memorial Day for my next video. And please continue to share my content. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Subscribe to my blog as well if you haven't. It's going to be in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.